how to create a spiral scroll design in Photoshop using gradients. It's a very basic design. I'm going to show you how. Go to the View menu and New Guide Layout 2020 and create some guides. Just makes it easier to create a selection and the center of that. So just drag that out from the first cell and you've got a lovely selection there, circular selection. Now I'm going to fill that with a gradient, but before I do that, I'm going to create a layer. So I'll go to Layer menu and New Layer, because I want to turn it into a smart object later as well. I'm going to be using gradients. And just clicking on the gradient up there, you can edit the gradient. As long as both ends are the same, that's probably the best one for the angle option. Now you can modify the gradient. You can change it in all kinds of ways. The gradient stops. You can find more about that on the Graphicxtras channel. So I'm using angle. I'm using blending mode normal. So you've got there, new layer. So now I'm going to create this design on that layer. And I say you can change the gradient in all kinds of ways. Just keep the ends the same color. And just apply it. So you've got a design there. Now, once you've done that, what you can do, you can get rid of the guides. Now you don't need them. Don't really need them particularly. I mean, it's just, I like to have it perfectly in the center and a perfect selection like that. So select and deselect and just quickly go to the View menu and clear the guides. You can see that Snap is on there. So you've got your design there. It's a layer. And what you can do, you can go to Layer menu and you can turn it into a smart object. I like smart objects. Wish it was quicker, but smart objects are a great way of changing things at a later point. You can apply effects to it, modify it in hundreds of ways at a later stage. But I'm going to use actions. So Window menu and actions and layers. You can see that there. And create an action. Very quick action. Go up to the top right and you can see new action, or click the plus and record. Now go to Layer menu and duplicate the layer, the gradient design. Give it a name if you wish. And then go to Edit and Transform. Scale. Now I'd suggest, and you can vary this, I would say something like 97, 96%. You don't want it too crunched up. 99 doesn't really create a very good gradient. It's okay, but you can do it. I found like 97 seems to work nice. 98 okay as well. And set an angle, maybe like 10 degrees, 5 degrees. And you can vary those. You can just change the angle to change the result. And then press return. And stop the recording. Now you've done that, what you can do, you can play it. And you can play it repeatedly. Hundreds of times. Create loads and loads of layers. Now just all layers. And you can see straight away, and I've just done it quickly, just so it didn't, I went all the way down enough to the center. You can see it's not particularly perfect. You've got those edges a bit not great. So you can select all of those layers and you can go to a Layer menu and you can convert them all to smart objects as well. And smart objects and convert to smart object. Again, doesn't resolve the sort of blockiness there. But what you can do, you can apply filters, just a blur. Maybe other filters as well can be applied, of course. Oil paint, whatever. Filter menu and blur and Gaussian blur. Set it to 5 or 6, 10. Obviously, the higher it gets, the slower it's going to be. More processing. You can see even with 3, you can still see those. You can push it up a bit further than that. It starts to smooth out. About 10, 15. Now, it's not perfect. You can still see a little bit around the edges. I could have pushed it a bit more, I suppose. And of course, what you can do, you can duplicate that design, modify it as well, apply other effects. But what you can do, because it's a smart object, you can always change it. So you can go to that little smart object thumbnail there in the layers panel, double click, and you can edit it. Now, it does take a lot of time to go into it. Obviously, I made it slightly quicker. I've removed, it was about 2 minutes. So it was a bit of time. So I didn't want to leave that on the video. And again, go down to the bottom one. I'm just going to use the bottom one. You can see the design there. And edit that one. They're all linked, so they will change accordingly. Double click again, and again, go straight into that. It does take a little bit of time to do that. And what you can do then, you can change that. You can go select and load selection using transparency, and then click OK. And now you can add a gradient. Now, if you want to get the center again, what you can do is go again to View and New Guide Layout. 2020, or you could use 1010, up to you. Go to the gradients, there, gradient tool, and just apply a different gradient. Now you could apply a more complex gradient, up to you. You can change gradient in numerous ways, add different stops, change the color of stops, remove stops, up to you, just to create a different gradient design. And of course, it comes with a lot of gradients. You can see in the presets there, you could use one of those. The key thing always is to remember that it ends the same color. So you can always change it. If you do change the end, so you can just select the end, change the color, just make certain you change the color of the other end. And the easiest way to do that is just go and remove the other end and go to the other end, select it, and then go back to the far end and so you click there. Then click OK. So you've got your gradient. Now you've got to apply it. No point in just creating a gradient. You have to apply it with the gradient tool. So there's the gradient. Now you could, of course, use blending modes. You could have used difference there as well, or darken to apply, create some interesting designs. And you can also, of course, go to Image Menu, Adjustments, and Hue and Saturation, or Color Lookup, Vibrance, etc. And you can change colors that way. So you can tweak those if you want. It's just easy to use the gradients as well. Now, once you've done that, just move that out slightly out of the way, you can close the documents. Just save it. Now, it does take a little bit of time to process. Obviously, in this case, I've removed the 2 or 3 minutes it took. And again, close it again and save. And you can obviously modify it in numerous ways. You can see down there the gradients there, all there. And again, close that one and click Save. And again, it processes it. It takes a few minutes again to process. But literally thousands of different gradient colourful effects can be created this way. Now, of course, you could always very simply just recolour that as well. That's another option. But you can create far more complex designs than just that by modifying the source gradient. And what you can do, of course, you can then hold down the Alt or Option key and drag and duplicate the design. So you want to fill the document, if you want, with that design. Or, of course, you could simply just drag that design, that smart object, into your library and use it for future use. Maybe use it in another application. So you can fill in screen, and of course you can always resize those, rotate the designs. And you can then, of course, go to Layer Menu and flatten the whole thing. And what you can then do, you can go and apply some filters, maybe oil paint or some filter gallery ones, up to you. Or go over to the Image Menu and Adjustments. Apply it a couple of times if you wish. Smooths it even more. And image menu adjustments and hue and saturation, or maybe go down to colour lookup. Maybe use blue tone or crisp winter look. Nice effect. And of course you might have your own colour lookups as well. Blue tone or green red. But there you have a lovely spiral scroll design, very quickly and easily created using a gradient. Nice colourful design. Hope you found this tutorial of interest. Please subscribe to the Graphicxtras channel, always adding many tutorials about Photoshop, Illustrator, Affinity Photo and many others. Please leave some comments, always appreciated. A dislike or like. Thank you much.